What's going on, YouTube gang? It's Mel DFS coming to you live and direct, here to give you my favorite plays for week 5. Going to each position, give you my favorite plays. Hope everybody's having a great day. Feel free to like the video. Please subscribe to your channel. Press that bell icon and always stay notified of new videos. Let's get into it. Going to my first play at quarterback. Jalen Hurts going against Arizona, looking at a 49 implied total in this matchup. He's 81 on DraftKings, 86 on FanDuel. He's been crushing it lately, averaging 280 passing yards a game, 51 rushing yards a game, averaging 27.7 fantasy points. And going against Arizona, last time he played them in 2020, he had 3 touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, 338 passing yards. Arizona allows an average 264 passing yards a game, 24 fantasy points at home allowed to opposing QBs. Like the spot overall for Jalen Hurts for this week. Now going for a value play, would like to consider Jacoby Brissett going against the Chargers. There's a 47.5 implied total here. Do like the Brown stack as well. He's averaging 207 passing yards a game, 15.3 fantasy points a game, 16.5 in the last 2 games at home. Chargers allow average 259 passing yards a game, 2.3 touchdowns, 18.7 fantasy points to opposing QBs. Love this spot for value. Jacoby Brissett, 56 on DraftKings, 67 on FanDuel. Going to our next play, going to our running backs, saving running backs for this week. Ramondre Stevenson, he's only 55 on DraftKings, 6,000 on FanDuel. Going against Detroit, that allows an average 116 rushing yards a game to opposing running backs, 2 touchdowns a game, 31.7 fantasy points to opposing running backs, and he is averaging 11 fantasy points for the season. Last time he played at home was against the Ravens, where he had 20 fantasy points. He had 12 carries, 4 out of 5 receptions in that matchup. So it's another play at home going against Detroit, where it should be an easy spot in my opinion for the Patriots offense. Another spot will be Khalil Herbert. Just gotta stay on the status of Montgomery injury news. He didn't practice Wednesday, but he's in another great play. He had 34, 11 in the last 2 games, averaging 15.4 fantasy points, 13 carries, 79 rushing yards a game versus Minnesota. That allow an average 104.5 rushing yards a game, 1 touchdown allowed a game with 26 fantasy points to opposing running backs. Herbert is in play if he gets to start for this week. We just gotta look to the status later on in the week. And another play you gotta look into is James Robinson going against Houston. He's 63 on DraftKings, 8,000 on FanDuel. But he's in a great play. He's averaging 15.6 fantasy points per game for the season, 14.8 carries, 64 rushing yards a game, and going against Houston allows an average 140 rushing yards a game, 1.3 touchdowns allowed with 34.3 fantasy points a game to the opposing running backs for the season. Go to our next play, going to our wide receivers. Like CeeDee Lamb, he's 7,000 on DraftKings, 72 on FanDuel. Going against the Rams, that giving up a lot to the receiver position. 211 receiving yards allowed, 1.5 touchdowns, 50.2 fantasy points per game to the receiver position, and he's averaging 10.5 targets, 5.8 receptions with 72 receiving yards with 2 touchdowns for the season. Like the connection with Rush and Lamb, he's averaging 16.1 fantasy points a game, 22.7 fantasy points allowed in the last 2 away games, and he's going against Rams as they play at home. So go to our next play. Amari Cooper to pair up with Brissett. He's 6,000 on DraftKings, 7,000 on FanDuel. But one thing about Cooper, he loves playing at home. He is averaging 27 fantasy points in the last 2 home games where he played the Jets, the Steelers. Going against the Chargers, that allow an average 161 receiving yards a game to opposing wide receivers, allowing 1.5 touchdowns to the position. So like Amari Cooper, if you want to pay down at 6,000 on DraftKings. Another spot to look at is Chris Olave, 57 on DraftKings. He's still too cheap. He is priced up on FanDuel at 69, but rightfully so. He is averaging 16.1 fantasy points a game for the season, 9 targets, 5.3 receptions with 83.8 receiving yards a game. He has great connection with Dalton in that Minnesota game last week. We had 7 targets, 4 receptions with 16 fantasy points. And going against Seattle allows an average 148 receiving yards a game to the position, 34.6 fantasy points. So like Chris Olave here, he's still cheap. for his price point on DraftKings. And let's go to our value play. DeVante Parker at 4,700 on DraftKings. He is 57 on FanDuel. Last time he played at home, that was against Baltimore. He had 23 fantasy points, and Detroit allows an average 195 receiving yards to the position, 42.1 fantasy points to the opposing wide receivers. This is a great value for DeVante Parker. Last 2 games, he had 10 and 23 fantasy points. So back here, I think it's a great play for him against Detroit. Go to our next play, tight end position. 2 guys in particular. David Njoku, still too cheap. He's 3,800 on DraftKings. He's averaging 10.6 fantasy points a game, 15 fantasy points in the past 2 home games, and they're back at home once again. He's averaging 5.8 targets, 4.8 receptions, and against the Chargers, that allows an average 52 receiving yards to the position, 12.2 fantasy points went away to opposing tight ends, and he's averaging 21.7 fantasy points in the past 3 games against the Chargers in the past 3 seasons. In each of those games, he did have a touchdown. So you're looking at touchdown props, Njoku is in play, and he should be a great value spot as well. The last guy, we got Tyler Conklin going against Miami, and Miami is bottom tier against the position, and Conklin has been paying up his price point. He's averaging 11.6 fantasy points a game, 7.3 targets, 5.3 receptions with 48 receiving yards a game, as Minnesota allows an average 18.1 fantasy points a game to the position, around 7 receptions a game. Like I said, they're bottom tier against tight ends. So like Tyler Conklin, still too cheap for your lineups to pay up elsewhere. And let's go to our last play at defense. I like the Eagles here going against Arizona. 35 on DraftKings, 45 on FanDuel. They're averaging 12.3 fantasy points a game, around 3.8 sacks, 1.3 interceptions, and also fumbles a game. Averaging 15.8 points allowed a game. And going against Arizona, they'll be undefeated, 5-0 for the Eagles. And going to our last play, going for the Cowboys value play against the Rams at 2,500 on DraftKings. They're still too cheap. They're averaging 8 fantasy points a game, around 3.8 sacks, 1 interception a game, and averaging 15.5 points allowed a game. And their value at that price point with Stafford, he's averaging 1.5 interceptions a game, and opposing defenses are averaging 14.5 fantasy points. So like the Cowboys defense, and you could get also a nice little prop for Stafford to give up an interception in this matchup. So like the spot for Dallas Cowboys for value. And these are my favorite plays for week 5. Like the plays, give a thumbs up. Any questions, comment below. Using Draft Dashboard tools. If you want the rest of my player pool, click the link in the description. It is $1 up to 30 days. Once you sign up, get access to the NFL cheat sheet, sleepers and your studs. Click on the watch players list. You'll get my plays up top for Watch Mel's DFS picks, and also check out the lineup optimizer to generate quality lineups. Export them to your DraftKings or FanDuel platform. You click on the master generator to make your quality lineups. As you can see, 20, even 150 lineups with your plays. Check it out in the link in the description. So I love y'all. Y'all collect that bag. It's Mel DFS, and y'all stay blessed. And I'll see y'all in the next video.